What's up, all you fishing fools? So if you know anything about Walsh Hog Custom Baits and about some of the methods I use, I've been a big proponent of KBS Diamond Clear Coat. I really like it. It does a good job. It's tough as nails. It's shiny. But one of the issues with KBS is after you dip your lure, it takes a minimum of 3 days. At least here where I'm at, a minimum of 3 days for that coat to cure. And I feel comfortable fishing the baits myself in 3 days with that clear coat. But for me to sell that to a customer, I wait a minimum of 5 days. Just because I want to be sure, man, that it's cleared right and it's not going to scratch or mess up. I mean, of course, everything scratches a little bit, but you don't want any catastrophes or failures. So what I've been working on and I've been getting info on is the UV clear. And basically with UV, it's kind of like the same stuff that they put on these fake fingernails for these women. Basically it's a clear coat, you put it on, and once it's exposed to a certain wavelength of light, man, it's cure. In some cases in just a few minutes. In other cases, 20 or 30 minutes. It just depends. So I'm going on working on a new system. I built me a box, and I'm fixing to show that to you of how I put it together and what I did. You know, it's a real game changer when you're doing these lures for custom orders and you're selling it for people, and you can get a lure completely finished and ready to fish, say, in 30 minutes. Rather than 5 days. I mean, you can imagine what a game changer that is. So I'm fixing to show you my box, what I did. Now keep in mind, this is not for everybody. This is a powerful, this is a big boy system here. A lot of people, you know, when they're using the UV clear to do a few baits here and there, you know, a lot of times they'll buy the little cheap $30 or $40 actual nail curing lamps like they use at nail salons, like I said, for the women's nails. Of course, anything I do, go big or go home. So I put together a really powerful system, and I'll show that to you in just a second. So this is my curing box, you know, and of course, instead of using the little nail lamps, I went with 4-foot bulbs. This is a pretty expensive setup. I mean, just one of these bulbs is about 40 bucks. Let me leave this over and show you. I actually went with a Sunhorse big ballast. I got all this stuff from Solar Cure, at least the components and everything. And you want to line it with something reflective, so I used actual silver duct tape. Mirrors won't work, and that kind of bounces that UV light around in there. And I even got a lid, and I did the lid too for my box. So as you can see, I can put quite a few baits in here at a time and get her done. Let me put my UV glasses on here because this light is like tanning bed lights or anything else. You don't want to look at these. So one thing I actually did do is I had to wire this box up myself, and I basically put an electronic timer on here with 30 minutes, 15, 10, and 5. And then of course you can hit hold and you can go for as long as you want to. With this much power, I mean, you can cure these baits in a matter of just minutes. So you can see, just like if I want to turn it on for just 5 minutes. Now mind you, I've got UV protective lights on because this stuff's really hard on your eye. So just say if I go 5 minutes, and there you go. I got 2 bulbs. I got one at the bottom and one on the top of each side. And I basically just ran me a piece of all thread right through the middle to hang the baits on. So this is a big boy system here. Ready to cure some baits and get it done. So anyway, that's a little bit of what I got. There's several UV coatings on the market. I really like the Alumilite UV, but there are some others, some made in China, whatever. I just prefer the Alumilite. But anyway, that's it, kind of a game changer. It's a little bit of investment, especially if you're going this big. I think for just the components, the bulbs, and now mind you, none of this comes wired. You have to wire your own power source into it, and I put my own switch, but just for the ballast and the bulbs and the tombstone for the bulbs, that was probably right at 300 bucks. That's not including the wood, the tape. Like I said, I had to make my own electrical plug coming out here and everything. You know, and, you know, the tape, the wood and all that, and it takes some time to get all this and then wiring it yourself. But anyway, that's it. Just wanted to let y'all know, Walsh Hog Custom Baits, get you some. What's up? So I'm doing a new clear coat. I'm trying the UV resin. This is kind of a sacrificial bait I did. These baits I got, I wasn't real happy with them. They're a little bit brittle, but I put this coating on there. I'm really just wanting to see how this coating holds up, so I'm gonna test them a little bit. I'll start off easy and I'm gonna go kind of hard. You can see just by doing that, there's no scratches on there. One little bitty scratch. Still really no scratches on it, just one little bitty scratch. Got a couple little scuff marks, but that's not bad still. Still the same little scuff marks you can see, even from hitting it on the concrete that hard. So I'm gonna do one more kind of hard. So you can see there's just a couple little scuff marks even from hitting it that hard on the concrete. So I'd say that's a success. That's a good clear coat, Pawpaw. Walsh Hog Custom Baits. Get you some.